Hey everyone, Tony Chips here from Chiappetta Shoes. This is Workshop Live. Today we have a lovely set of old custom orthotics. Looking at these bad boys right here. The set is from 2019 and I believe this is from 2016. They're holding up pretty well. We got some cracks here. We're just gonna do a light refurbish job. On both of these, we're gonna set them up with one of my favorite adjustments, a T4 Met Pad. We sell these from Taco. They're made by Pet Egg as well. I'm going to not use the standard stuff. We're going to use 3mm cushion cork. This is a cork and rubber combination. Big fan of this material. We're going to remove this, replace a 4-foot metatarsal pad, the T4 Met Pad. I like it because it's a little bit more of a bar. And we've got about a 2mm pour-on that we're placing as a 4-foot padding. These have been holding up for a while. Again, 2019, 2016-ish, right around there. They're getting a little thin. We heat them up with, clean them off the acetone, heat them up. Now we're going to just clean off the bottom. Let's take you over to the grinder real quick and take everything off the bottom. Now, when we're doing this, we want to be careful. We don't want to completely strip off. We don't want to completely strip off everything. So we're just going to take off everything down to this base material. We use this great cotton-based liner that gives the orthotic a good amount of structure without taking up too much material, called Villadon. This stuff works really well. All right, got the first one down. All right. Cleaned off and ready to go, baby. So we have this set here, cleaned off, everything's taken off. Now we're switching up a little bit. We're going to make these uniform, and we're going to want to take the pour-on, set it at a diagonal, not catch the big toe, and down to about the 4th toe right there. Pinky toe usually gets a little extra cushion. And again, we want to just make these uniform. It's been a while since we worked on them. This T4 Met Pad, again, I'm a big fan of the shape. This is something that extends down into the longitudinal arch, or a little bit more into the middle of the foot, and works really well to create both metatarsal support. It's almost like a Met bar and a longitudinal support extension. And there we go. All right. So we've got this style of modification. So we're going to make everything nice and uniform. All right. So, you know, when you make custom orthotics, I've been getting a lot of people lately. Our new shop, we're at 4820 75th Street. It's going great. I super appreciate the local response. We got a lot of people from Illinois loving this because it's a little bit closer by like 2 minutes, but hey, every minute counts. And we've been enjoying the new shop here. It's been really cool. We got a giant window so you can see right into the shop. I'm going to be adding another camera looking that way into the sales floor because I think it'd be cool. And I got Pete over here working on custom orthotics. But yeah, we're just, you know, getting our feet wet. Not literally. Well, my feet are pretty sweaty. But getting our feet wet at the new shop. So it's going really well. You know, when we talk about custom orthotics, we see so much crap every single day. you know, people that just don't know how to make inserts. This whole process here, you know, we're talking about modifications and adjustments. We take a lot of pride in taking an incremental approach. And, you know, what that means is helping people out where we don't overcorrect a situation right away. And we build something that's comfortable right out of the box. And not to overcorrect or undercorrect, but we make an insert and then let the customer wear it and take it and modify it after the fact. So that's a big key difference in how we manufacture custom orthotics, doing different changes to the foot, but after the fact. So what we have here is really nice format, okay? Now, we've got two different sets, one pretty old, one super old. Yeah. So, looking at the need for metatarsal support, why am I adding this? Tony, you might be saying to yourself, Tony, what the hell are you doing over here? And when it comes to metatarsal support, it comes in handy most often when we're dealing with any kind of extreme pressures on the balls of the feet. Now, when you look at flat feet versus high arches, there's different mechanics going on. You can have a flat foot that has a lot of pressure. Typically, that gets focused on the second and third metatarsal head, or the knuckles of the feet. And when we have a flatter foot, the reason you get that pressure on that second, third knuckle of the foot, the metatarsal head, is because there's a lot more flexibility or pronation. The arch at the medial side is rotating down because you have the navicular bone that drops down. The heel bone allows to rotate in a lot more. So with a flatter foot, there's a lot more play. There's a lot more flexibility that comes down to forefoot alignment, comes down to hereditary just factors. You know, it might be in the family. Most of the time when we see feet, structurally speaking, there's a large correlation to what our familial line gives us. All right, so with a flat foot, there's just a lot of flexibility. Now, with a high arch, typically, high arch with a fair amount of rigidity, there's more pressure focused on that first and fifth metatarsal. But with the Albert 2 system we have in the shop here, really cool little system that we have, and the old school ink mapping that we've done forever, we see plenty of high arches that actually have a fair amount of instability. And that can actually come from the ankle versus flexibility in the midfoot and the arch. And when you have a normal, I would say a standard medium to high arch, you're most often going to get pressure on that first and fifth metatarsal. But you can have a medium to high arch that has a lot of pressure on all the metatarsal heads, first through the fifth, when there's extreme rigidity. And then you can have high arches that have pressure just on that second, third, and fourth metatarsal block. And in most feet, when you look at the structure of a standard foot, the first and the fifth are the main weight loading spots when you're taking a step. The second, third, and fourth constitute the metatarsal arch, so they shouldn't be pushing down too much. Flat feet, you get a natural amount of pressure on that second and third metatarsal because the foot splays more. For a high arch, you get all this pressure because there's a lot of just pounding of the bony areas. And unstable high arches, you get that focal point of the second and third, like a flat foot. Lots of weird things can happen to the foot. So metatarsal support is a common piece that we add to our custom orthotics. And when we do this, this is done on the spot. All custom orthotic and over-the-counter insert modifications come at no charge. There are a few things that we do charge for, like drill and fills, where if we have an ulcer that we're trying to offload inside the shoe, we will drill out a hole with a Dremel and fill it with a silicone. And then a couple other things. Spring plates are kind of a common one with first metatarsal hallux rigidus issues, bunion surgeries that go bad and they gotta fuse it. That's relatively common a lot of times. So when we do this, again, customers probably waiting anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, and we respect their time just as much as ours, so we want to get this done. Most shops, not to knock hanger or anything like that, don't do modifications, period. But if they do, they got to send them back to the lab that they got them from. You're talking a couple weeks transit here and there. It's a month before you even get your orthotics back in your shoes. And our biggest specialty when it comes to custom orthotics is that everything is done right here in the shop. We take a lot of pride in that. All right, so we have T-form Met Pad with a 3mm cushion cork material. We've got 2mm Poron, polyurethane-based material, open cell, really good stuff. We have two sets of old orthotics, 2019 and 2016, I believe. You're making them uniform, refurbing for the customer on the spot. This will be done in a minute. Typically, we use contact cement all the time. Typically, we need somewhere around 4 to 5 minutes of dry time before you start adhering everything back together. All right. So we're going to work on the blue set first. This is the newer set. When I use the heat gun, I'm just getting this going again. And you're curing and activating the glue. You don't want to keep the heat on too much just because it will bubble up the glue a little bit and then it won't stick quite as well. So you want the glue to be able to embed into the material, and that's where that cure time comes into play. You want to let it sit. All right. Now polyurethane is tricky. This stuff here can rip really easily. So when you're working with it, you want to make sure you're nice and gentle. Okay. Like this. Perfecto. And when I do this, I want a little overlap. Now I'm not pushing it all the way down because I'm going to give this a nice hammer with the mallets. And you want to jump in? I'm live streaming right now.
Really?
Yeah, Ella.
You have an appointment.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Perfecto. All right. Take you over to the grinder real quick. Now, pressure is our friend when it comes to the glue. So we have a updated orthotic. We're going to taper the edges, and one fine-tuning note that I'll show you after I get done grinding here is we have a pretty wide base. Now I do that because we can taper it down with proper grinding techniques that will allow us to focus in some of the pressure that we're trying to create for that second through fourth metatarsal head. And right now what I'm doing, I don't know if you can hear me or not, still testing out these mics, is I'm just tapering the edges really lightly. Perfect. All right. Lefty down. This is an old orthotic, so you don't want to take off too much material. All right, almost done. Perfecto. Okay, so with the updated insert, we're gonna wrap it up here. We've got 4-foot padding, a little extra cushion, nice T4 met pad, focused in between the middle of the first met to the middle of the 5th met, highest point between the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th metatarsal head. T4 met pad, nice little orthotic modification, update. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any custom orthotic questions, feel free to hit us up at chiappettashoes.com, 262-657-9142, or chiappettashoes.com/book-and-appointment. Thank you very much. Ciao.